dwarves were defeated for the time being. Satisfied, the essence of absolute evil rubbed something. The all-destroying evil had conquered the exit. This left the way to the surface open for its troops. The absolute evil's creatures blinked a little as they stepped into the glaring light of the sun. Finally, they could lay waste not only to the boring corridors of the dungeon, but also to the lush green meadows of the overworld. Horrific evil had destroyed a camp in the overworld. The defeated heroes ran away crying and tried to entrench themselves behind even higher walls.
It's payday.
The vile evil had destroyed another of the heroes' camps. Screaming at the top of their voices, the survivors took to their heels. Your creatures have destroyed a cage.
I have to protect the blueprint, Snookums. Otherwise, the orcs will eventually end up building some decent machinery here. Well then, keep your chin up, Toodles.
Brynhild, what are you doing? I thought your dwarves could easily handle a few orcs.
Problems, brother mine? Oh, what a shame. I had actually already planned on making myself a tea set out of dwarf skulls.
Your evilness truly knows no bounds. These dwarves are part of the Alliance of Good. You were also once part of that alliance.
The path to the dwarves' oversized hammer lay open. The trembling heroes prepared themselves for the final battle. The dwarven equipment spectacularly went up in flames, which was rather odd, as the creatures had only been hitting the thing with their weapons. But fine, perhaps Horde weapons were made of flint. Yet the distraction provided by the dwarven intervention had shifted the destruction-loving evil's focus long enough for Talia and her stepbrother Tristan to disappear into the distance. With an imaginary sigh, the staggering evil took one last look around before setting off in pursuit. The path led to the Hellwoods, an eerie place claimed by the demonic creatures of the underworld. The Hellwoods. Talia was taken ever deeper into the lands by her stepbrother Tristan. They passed through the Hellwoods, a hotbed of demons. In the underground beneath the Hellwoods, Talia's stepbrother Tristan was tampering with the remains of a dungeon long thought forgotten. But the demonic evil's henchmen were hard on his heels and were also slogging their way through the underground. Tristan had no choice but to retreat.
My brothers! In your eyes I see the same fear that would lead me to despair. The day may come when the...
Tristan, you good-for-nothing imbecile! Can't you just shut up for once? Or finally come up with a different speech? That's so... Hey! Are those my armies of evil? Here! Get me out of here so I can personally kick my stepbrother's butt! Go ahead! Finish them off! Give it to them! Push away past the expiry date cake, right in their faces!
Never! The power of magic flows through me! A magic barrier will keep those creatures at bay!
It seemed that Tristan did actually have some small knowledge of magic. His barrier was impenetrable to conventional attacks. Where magic was concerned, however, things looked just a little different. The spellbook perusing evil quickly set about tackling this problem underground. Before the mana-craving evil could resort to magic, it would first have to take care of the demons. It made perfect sense to have a vortex built to house demonic creatures. Some parts of the underground were saturated with mana. Once dug up, this could be used to cast spells. The mana-addicted evil wanted to try this out as soon as possible. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. The room-building evil had had a vortex built. There, hired demons found shelter and a place to wait until they could be resurrected at the cost of evilness after an unforeseen demise.
Stand fast, men! There may come a day when courage fails us, but it is not this day. On this...
Ah, you stole that speech. I've heard something very similar to that before.
That's beside the point. Those words inspired my men. The pen is mightier than the sword.
But weaker than a horde battle axe. It's just too bad that I can't be there to watch the show because I'm stuck in your stupid cage.
Enemies are in the dungeon. doors in the dungeon not only reduced drafts, but could also stop heroes and other enemies in their tracks for a short time. They also increased the efficiency of rooms. It therefore made sense to have a door to close off a production room. The Never Went to Hogwash Evil's little snot had built an arcanium. Should one of these droll little workers manage to find the time, mana would from now on be produced here. Ding dong, it's payday. The gallant evil had now gained access to a number of spells. Create resources, for example, allowed toolboxes or gobblers to quickly be created as if out of thin air. In keeping with his childlike disposition, the amused evil immediately tried this out. A first door now adorned the dungeon. The grandiose evil not only used it to increase the efficiency of rooms or to stop enemies for a short time, but it could also lock doors to seal off areas for its subordinates. The childish evil's eyes glowed with joy as it successfully used the Create Resources spell. This would allow stocks to be filled even without decent production. Little Snot set about generating mana in the Arcanium to make it available to the spell-wielding evil. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. Your enemies are in the dungeon. Ding dong, it's payday. A gold vein is almost exhausted. the spoiled evil had discovered a few stray demons who were all too willing to join his dark army. Of all things, these were stuck in a rather awkward position. The perplexed evil pondered how to go about it.
Hey, Tristan's favorite, his only stepbrother. See my troops marching over there? I think they're gonna make short work of you.
Don't get your hopes up too soon, stepsister. My barrier, my men will stop them. We got what we wanted here, and we'll soon be on the road again.
Creatures, get me the hell out of here already! Come on, get a move on! Save me, free me, sign petitions demanding my release!